And welcome to everyone that's currently here with us today. I'm SSR Mayhem, and alongside me, my partner, AMR Black, as we bring you week number 7 of the MEA Nascar Cup Series. And last week was a pretty exciting week back at Sonoma. SSR Bobbers pulling off the all-time victory of the season over SSR Katy, as now the B Lobby winner of last week, I believe. And actually, I believe that was PPS Lucky, and it was, who's not here tonight with us. Family vacations, I believe, is what's keeping him out. Blackout, what did you see last week? You were one of the commentating last week, and what did you see?
Yeah, I was. Basically, what we witnessed at the final corner before the start-finish straight was, I believe Ricky Bobby had a little nudge with PPS Lucky, or no, he nudged Katie, and she knocked into PPS Lucky. I think she lost all that momentum she has, and then after that, Ricky Bobby managed to get on the outside of her, I think it was the outsides, and made it one of the closest three-way finishes I've seen in a long time, to be fair.
And
or was it a two-way?
That was a really exciting race to watch.
Yeah.
I watched a replay of it, and you know, those three were battling all race long. But you got to remember, HCCR Karts was in the mix, now known as PXM Karts, and PXM Outlaw. Those two were making hard strides, and Outlaw had 2 pit stops, which is really, you know, really a gamble in that race. When most of the field took one, and you know, it paid off for him. Now tonight's race is a little bit different. We're back at the Oval, back here at Homestead. Last time we were here, Hatch Club actually won here in the B Lobby. He's back in action here tonight in the B Lobby. Last week actually disconnected out of the B Lobby race, had a lot of pace there at Sonoma, but SSR Katy, who won here last time, both those drivers in the same lobbies as they were before, and look, maybe see a repeat between the two drivers.
Very much could so.
So we're getting ready here.
I think tonight's going to be quite different. I think there's going to be some sort of like unsung hero, I guess I could say. There'll definitely be someone who can make a position like much better than they expected. I bet you there's someone who's going to be out there who's going to be, you know, causing a ruckus, but we don't notice it until like later on or something like that.
Right.
It might be really interesting.
I think it will be. The last time here was really fun to watch. There's, you know, I don't know if you've raced here before, Blackout, but this track gives you a bunch of different variety of lanes. You can run high, low, middle. You'll see cars going 2, 3 wide, and every lane works, but it's how you use the track. The biggest thing that I've been told is you got to use the entire track. You come in low, come out high. If you don't do that, you lose a lot of momentum, lose a lot of speed, and that's where your pace sits throughout the race.
I think I remember this because I was running the Koenigsegg Agera RS in production hoppers around this track, and that momentum build going like fast in and then going out towards the middle. That's how you want your momentum, where it goes in, slightly out, and then back in around the whole bend.
And it looks like all the drivers should be ready to go here, and they are ready to go. There's 9 drivers here tonight. It's kind of the most we've had in the last couple of weeks for the B Lobby, but not complaining whatsoever. Actually, a first-timer here in the season, SSR Woody 19, did not qualify, but was able to make the show. Glad to see him in action tonight as he drives the Jegs number 19 machine, and we'll about announce everybody at the start line here momentarily. So as they load on in here, tonight's Marshall inside the party, ACR Naika, one of the newest members of MEA. He's been a part of us for about a few weeks now. Finally got him into a position where he can actually do some organization, as you know, at MEA organizers. And here we go as they get ready to rock and roll, starting on the pole position. Number 61, he's the driver, AMR, now an AFR driver, AFR Logistics, starting on the pole position. Right alongside him, All Clean Racing driver, Nyko in the number 12 machine, looking to get his first victory of the season. Right behind him, in the 3rd starting position, PXM's one and only Andrew, and Andrew has nothing but a phenomenal season running in the B Lobby. He has had a lot of opportunities this season to pull up a victory. Can he do it here tonight? Starting in the 4th position, SM Sleepy, the number 42 machine. Right behind him, number 9, Hatch Club 334. Right alongside him, PXM Twisted in the number 33 machine. And in the 7th position,
I've got my eyes on.
And on the 7th position, KOTS Chevy Boy, the number 36 machine, looking to surprise a few people. And right behind him, the number 13 car, SSR McMees, and rounding out the field, the number 19 Jegs machine is SSR Woody. And we heard it here from Blackout as he's keeping an eye on Twisted here tonight. If I do recall correctly, Twisted, I'm going to keep an eye on SSR Woody tonight.
An eye on Twisted.
And here we go, green flag.
And we're off.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
Green flag indeed.
No,
Wait,
no.
caution?
Oh, they must be going out one more time around. That's okay. They must have had an issue.
It looked like they was on the throttle there. Yeah, something just happened. I'm not sure what though.
That's all right. It looks like they just weren't ready to rock and roll, and that's okay. Once again, this is Nako's first time being an organizer tonight, so he's in control of the whole field, and we wish him but nothing of luck here tonight. I'm going to start on PXM Andrew here. I feel like he's a guy to really watch tonight. He was actually the top time for B Lobby, but with a couple people moving up and moving down, he's still right there where he belongs. The one thing I think is going to be hard tonight is you got two guys that drop down the A lobby, be Logistic and Nako. Can he find momentum in the race to kind of challenge those guys? It should be really interesting to watch. And then as they come off of 4 Blackout, we're about to go green flag racing.
We're about to go green indeed. And here we go. We are going green.
Go.
Here we go. I'm keeping an eye on Twisted. So far, there is nothing happening as of yet, but AFR is taking on the inside. And
Andrew gets clipped!
Sippy,
he's hanging on for dear life and he spins out! Oh!
He's gone. Unfortunately, Andrew was wiped out, and jeez, that was just really unlucky. But Hatch Club should have let off the throttle a bit. That would have actually helped the situation. Unfortunately, the racing spirit caught him, and that's an accident for Andrew.
And that brings out the first caution of tonight's race. That's kind of expected. A couple of these guys getting a little antsy early on. It looked like Andrew, I don't know if you were watching, he got a little bit low on that apron. Didn't really find the line which, you get too far down on that apron, it really kicks you right back up the track when you try to come back onto the track. And I think that's just what we saw there. All we saw, Andrew just going too far down low to the inside, try to come up the track. No real estate to really work with, and just like you said, he just got the bad end of a hard situation.
Oh yeah. And now we are waiting to go green again. So, should we follow that tradition about the drinking on cautions, or should we just not worry about acting
That's a Rufus thing. I don't worry about that. But if Rufus, you're watching, you might want to get everybody in the mixer chat going. All right, so
definitely
4 laps down. 114 to go, one of the longest races of the season. Believe it or not, it really is.
How long is it on for?
It should last about an hour and a half, as long as these guys get rolling. And here we go. They're coming off the final turn now. So they're going to start double file line. AFR Logistics starting on the pole position. ACR Niko on the side. I think what Niko forgets is when he says green, it's a second delay for everyone else.
Oh, it's green, green, green. Everyone is going, and we have Twisted taking advantage of it's a bit of a late start and has managed to secure the 3rd place, which is a really good position for him right now. If he can hold this would be a great night for him, I can guarantee you.
And Twisted already up to the 3rd position, right? You said they're Blackout, and right now he's tracking down 2 of the guys up front, but we got a battle for the lead. Logistic to the inside,
and
Twisted
dives on the
following!
inside, and he's holding ACR Nako to the side of him. And now they are on a drag race down the straight of the start-exit straight, about to go into corner 1, and unfortunately, Nako has a better braking point, and that leaves Twisted behind a bit.
And
but
right
can
behind
Twisted
them,
pull what he did earlier on?
And right behind them, Blackout, SSR Woody already up to the 5th position now. He's on the backside of SM Sleepy. Sleepy looking to hold a block. Twisted gets a little loose going into 3. But there they go, side by side. And look at that, PXM Andrew looking to pick some people off. Here he's right underneath Hatch Club. Right now, Blackout, this has been nothing but exciting in the first few laps here, and they are really pushing it right now.
This has been quite exciting to watch, because now it's like watching, from my point of view, it looks like an angry Wolfpatch is looking to hunt them down.
And Twisted really working on Nako right now, but right now I'm sitting on the battle for 4th. It's about a 3-car battle. PXM, Andrew, Hatch Club, as they switch sides almost there. Right now, 4th, 5th, about 4th through 7th here is going at it. Right now, right behind them, Lucas or SSR McNeese and Chevy Boy just hanging on to the tail of the pack. Woody clips to the side of SM Sleepy right there, but they both seem to hang on. Hatch Club looking to go underneath Woody now, and PXM, Andrew right on the back bumper, and they touch, and oh, it's 3 wide!
It's a 3 wide, there's a 3 wide, yeah. You see Andrew got the worst of it, unfortunately. He did have contact with the barrier, but you see SSR Woody go deep on the inside to secure 6th, I believe. And Andrew's taken from the outside, he's going for it again. And they are side by side, but Andrew does get slightly ahead, securing 6th, just when it was needed. Great job from Andrew.
And Andrew really working hard after that first caution of the race. He's got a lot of real estate to work with right now as no one's around him, but a lot of laps still to go. There's nothing to worry about just yet. If you were Andrew right now and you were caught up in that first incident, what's going through your mind, Blackout?
Ooh, no, Andrew's actually doing really well. He's just secured 4th. I just watched that double overtake. Absolutely brilliant. He dived on the inside of turn 1.
And he's up to 4th now.
That was a brilliant overtake.
I'm on him right now.
It looks like he's going to have twisted by the next corner if he carries on. But I just accidentally called twisting corner.
And Twisted battling his driver. PXM going at it. 2 wide, entering 1. Twisted to the inside. Andrew to the outside. Side by side. And they hold. And Hatch Club.
That's a goodbye from the Twisters to Andrew. It's like, good battle, mate. But I've just taken, and he's going back on the inside to fair decision again. He's just shut the door on him.
And right now, Hatch Club, if you aren't paying attention, right behind him, Hatch Club is looking all around. He's looking for paths. He's looking for anything. But look at this! SSR Woody to the inside!
He dives on the inside. They both dive on the inside and both nearly... Okay, Andrew got through, but Hamilton pulling through. Unfortunately, it doesn't, but they're now in a drag race. No, it seems that Woody's just slipped behind Hatch Club, trying to get that draft so he can pull it out of the next corner and hopefully... But unfortunately, it hasn't so far. But he's coming in. You can see it. He's getting closer to Twisters.
And right now, the battle for 5th is on between SSR Woody and Hatch Club. These two guys have been pretty much near each other the entire race. Woody giving him a bump on the back bumper as they enter 1. They're both on the low line of 2. Sleepy right on the outside of the exit. Sleepy's going to get a good run on both of them. Sleepy getting right up to the back bumper of both of them. Almost. Oh. And here they go. Woody to the inside.
Woody slides out and gets bumped. Gets bumped by, who was that behind him? Who was behind Woody that just bumped him?
Sleepy. That was Sleepy.
Sleepy. That was unlucky. And now we've got Hatch Club trying to pick off Twisted because he's getting closer.
And we'll go up to the race leader
does seem to have promised, though.
And right now, riding with AFR Logistic, currently the race leader. Way ahead of the pack. Go ahead, back to you, Blackout.
It seems that, Twisted is... Oh, he made contact! The moment I said Twister's going to do something, he makes contact. He's going to lose Andrew and then get overtaken by Hatch Club. That was just an easy picking for him. That is bad luck.
And I was in the driver's party before the race started, Blackout, and Twisted and Andrew were talking. Andrew let Twisted know, I'm going to do what's best for me. If I can take the win, I'm going to take the win. So it's no holds bar here between teammates right now.
Oh, definitely. But I imagine it's in a respectable sense. And both Hatch Club and Twisted just grinding against that wall on the exit.
And right now we're riding alongside with PXM Andrew, who's currently running down 2nd place right now. He's got a big run on him, and he's been closing the gap since his incident. This is fun to watch if you're a PXM Andrew fan right now. He's really putting on a clinic after having to start back in the pack.
Just let you know.
And what do you see in the back of the field?
So the moment I put my eyes on Woody, he bumped against the wall, so he's lost a bit of speed. But he is keeping up with Sleepy or CP. It seems like a long battle, but it's only the sight of unfortune for Woodsy when he keeps making contact with barrier. It's really letting him down, but he's managing to keep him up otherwise.
And Andrew's really working hard on Nako right now. He's looking for all types of gaps. He's looking to the inside. It looks like, no, he changed his mind. He has to go a little bit high. Now Andrew's just trying to hang on to that light, but he goes back to the inside, and he's got a big run on Andrew. He goes to the inside off of 2. He's going side by side down the back straightaway, and he'll take over the second position in lap number 18. Blackout, what a move by Andrew. He got a great exit off of 2.
That is amazing. However, it seems like ACR Nako is trying to find a way of picking back at Andrew. You know, trying to get that sweet revenge of taking his second position back. Because Andrew did it in such a fashion. That was quite a dive, to be fair, as well.
And Nako tried to pull
really
the
deep
crossover
on
on
it
him. But it looks like Andrew just has so much more speed, Blackout.
Yeah, his exit was on par. It was brilliant.
And if you're looking, there is someone else appearing in the picture, and that would be the number 9 machine of Hatch Club, as he's coming and he's moving quickly. He was a winner here last time in the B lobby, and he's got quite a ways to go. We talked about former winners between the 2 lobbies, Hess Arcady and Hatch Club A and B lobbies, and they're both in the same as they were once before. And right now, if Hatch Club wants to repeat, he's got to put on a clinic here. But, you know, it's a long race, Blackout, so no reason to get too excited early on.
Definitely. There's always going to be switches between positions, especially when they start diving into the pit lane. That is something to consider. Who's got the better strategy and who's going to have the best possible outcome? And I believe last time Hatch had a really good strategy on his pits, so he managed to win that race. So it could apply to this one as well. That's what we've got to keep an eye on. Make sure his strategy is good as well.
I'm riding with PXM Twisted, and he lost a little bit of ground. He's pretty much gone backwards since the last restart of the race. He's currently sitting in the 6th position, running on the low line. SSR Woody right behind him, starting to reel him in slowly but surely, and he hits the wall again. That's the second time in 2 laps that Twisted has now hit the wall, the same part of the wall, and Woody's now got an opportunity to close that gap and take over the 6th position. And Blackout, earlier you said Woody was having some similar issues, and it really shows how rough it is to, you know, between an oval and a circuit. You know, in a circuit, you know, in road course races, it's one of those things where you make a little mistake, you can pretty much recover from it. But in an oval racetrack, which is really, really difficult to race, that little bit turns out to be a whole second to 3 seconds to sometimes even more than that, and that makes a huge difference. So making mistakes at a place like this is not something you want to be doing at all.
It's a bit too risky, really, because if you're making bumps and scrapes, this is a place where people can actually drive, and it's not like a typical Forza lobby. So it's just one of them things where everything does count. And this is for a championship as well, so all that pressure you're putting on yourself, you're bound to make a mistake. It happens with everyone. So
hey, here's a battle. We got a battle.
What I'm saying is,
side by side.
Oh, we have a battle.
It's for 6th place. Twisted goes way up high, and Woody will go underneath to take over the 6th position.
Oh my lord, don't just miss that. Seriously.
And there goes Twisted back to the inside of Woody.
Hey, look at that, SSR flat shift racing. Do it for Dale. This is a pretty good livery. Do it for Dale.
And look at that.
And then
side
outside overtake
side,
is pretty neat. I've got to say, I love outside overtakes.
It's one of the prettiest things to watch because you get such a great momentum off of the turn. If you do it just right, it's a beautiful thing to watch, and I agree with you right there. But these two are still battling, and Woody just, you know, after overtaking Twisted's pretty much kept himself relevant, and they're still going at it right now.
Oh yeah, they're trying to fight one another. I don't know what's happened to bring Twisted all the way down 7th, because I think I missed a battle between them. But what is happening right now is that Twisted's trying to keep up, and I think Woody's just got the upper hand.
And further in the back of the pack, in 8th and 9th place, Chevy Boy is currently tracking down MEA's. These two guys are a little bit off the pace right now, but they're really, really close, and that's something to keep an eye on. The see how the battle for 8th goes on. We go further up the field. We'll go back to that 6th place battle between SSR Woody and PXM Twisted, but it looks like Woody's pretty much established himself and is kind of getting away now.
Yep. But as I'm looking at the back, I'm noticing that Twisted and Woody are still at it. They are still within close proximity. And Twisted is making very obvious mistakes as to why he's not on pace tonight. Example, he's taking the outside line on the banking, and that's just something you don't want. You don't want it all the way from the start point to the end. You will make a diving somewhere, but when you make the exit, it can be back out with a really good speed, rather than bumping into walls all the time, which you have to let off your throttle anyway, which just kills your momentum. But Woody's kept it quite nice and consistent. That's why he's beating Twisted at this battle right now. However, it doesn't mean to say it. Twisted might have a fantastic strategy, and he might pull a really good lap strategy for pitting. Sorry, you're sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. I was letting you continue there. As if we go further up the field, though, Andrew is starting to gain a lot of, I would say he's starting to get away quite a bit from Nako, but if you watch Nako, he's now being challenged, or will soon to be challenged, by the number 9 machine of Hatch Club. And Hatch Club, you know he wants to win this, you know he'd love to win that track. He won once before the season, and especially after last week Blackout. He had such a good car in the B lobby at Sonoma, and he got that disconnect. You think he really wants to rebound from that.
Oh yeah, definitely. That disconnect was such a shame to what was a good race. Unfortunately though, internet is a thing and this is esports for a reason. And that's the only thing that's holding people back from like a really, really good, like some drivers might actually hold them back from really good results for a championship they could potentially win, you know, cash prizes, as an example.
Oh yes. And right now, the battle to keep an eye on, or soon to be an eye on, is for the 3rd position right now, is Hatch Club still starting to reel him in. And we pull up the race map once again here. You'll see where everyone's on the map. Logistic has really ran away from the pack right now. He's gotten quite a lead over 2nd place PXM Andrew, who actually had a big mistake early in the race. Nothing that he could do about it. He just ran that apron really low, and that threw him up the track.
I think there's a caution.
And there is the back of the field. It's KOTS Chevy Boy. Oh no, it wasn't. I'm sorry. That's PXM Twisted, who spun out. It looks like. So we are now on our 2nd caution of the day at lap number 32. So we should be seeing our first set of pit stops here. Last time we were here, the pit strategy was probably about 2 to 3 pit stops during the entire race. So while these guys get back into gear here, it looks like they have announced pit road is
like
open.
And yeah, Andrew and Logistic. Oh my gosh.
Wonderful Forza.
On my screen, it looked like Hatch Club just absolutely charged through Andrew, and whoa.
And it looked like Hatch was doing a last-second decision. Only one driver stayed on the track under this caution. That'd be ACR Nako. He is staying on the track, but this gives a chance for us to see what PMX Twisted can do, because you know, he had that early incident. He's battled his way back up from last. So the question really is, can we find out if he has the car to beat here today, if he could challenge Logistic to Blackout?
It seems like now, due to this caution, there might be an actual good chance of Andrew, no way. What just happened?
Oh, there we go. I got it fixed. I was trying to pull up one thing, and there we go. Because there's quite a bit of people watching, and I'll bring the chat box up, which... and we do. We have Honey Badger in there. We got Rumble Strip. Nice to see you guys. If you guys are currently watching, this is the MEA Week 7 of NASCAR Series at Homestead. About 117 laps of the race. I see Outlaws down there too, so glad to see you guys in here. Hope you're enjoying the race. We should be going back to Green Flag Racing here with Nako on the lead. And here we go. Green Flag! And
Green
look
flag.
at the run! Andrew got a great run here! It's green wide going into 1! Andrew goes up the track, paints onto it!
Hatch Club takes advantage.
Logistics shuffling back, and look at this! Twisted goes right up the middle to the lead! What a Twisted, a great restart, and what a run off the turn 2!
Jesus, that was crazy. And when he's diving. That was such a move by Andrew. I am really amused by it. Nice job, mate.
And we're going back. We're working on SSR Woody right now. We're running along with him as Andrew is now running away from the field. Woody way up the track. That gives a couple of the drivers to go underneath now. Woody dropping back to about 6th, and he does. We'll shuffle up further in the pack and see how Nyko's doing. Nyko currently in the 4th position right now, and he's got a lot of ground to recover. He didn't have a greatest restart, but what a run by Andrew right there, Black. That was so phenomenal. He ran that inside line. He held his line, and he never let up whatsoever. The only loser of that entire group off that restart was Logistic, and Logistic has now gotten back up to 2nd now.
Well, actually, fortunately for him, because he had such a rough run coming out of that corner, out of that turn, sorry, and, you know, it looked like he'd been shut out, and he was going to lose it to Nako at the time, or I think it was Wizzy, actually. No, it was Wizzy, and, he's managed to climb his way back up to 2nd, which is really good going for him, actually.
And right now, we're running really alongside with AFR Logistic as he's trying to hold off the first time arounder who won this in the B lobby, which would be Hatch Club, who has gone the outside, but he's probably going to dip down to the inside here, give himself a better run and roll off of 3. But he gets right up on the back bumper of Logistic there. He goes to the inside. Can he hold on to it? And he cannot, so he has to go back in line of Logistic.
I don't think, as of now, he's going to catch up with Logistic. However, it's just the way Logistic's taking the turns, which is what's slowing him down. However, on the straights, that's where he's got club. That is definitely where he's got club. He's gained 1 or 2 feet. But yet again,
he's coming off the exit better. A little smoother.
Yeah. However, his turning that time was in his favour. But previously, it was Hatch who had the upper hand on it. So I think it's the inconsistency of him handling the corners as to why he's as to why Hatch Club is actually keeping up with him, and why he can't.
And once again, if you're just tuning in, this is week number 7 of the MEA NASCAR Series. I'm SSR Mayhem, and alongside me, my partner, AMR Blackout, as we bring you tonight's B Lobby race here at Homestead, about 40 laps down here, and it's been nothing but a show.
Contact wall and loses some distance on Logistic. I'm sorry to interrupt, but that was quite a loss, because Nako is now catching up to try and see him go on the outside. Back to you.
And right now, Logistic really working on Andrew. I know there's a battle going on for 3rd right now, but right now, Logistic is tracking down Andrew, so we're going to hang on right here while those guys are watching. So you keep an eye on them, Blackout. And Logistic looking to retake 1st place, but if you've been with us at the start of the race, and I'm sure Blackout would agree, PXM Andrew has been nothing but the guy to watch for as he wrecked in the first couple of laps, started in the back, got himself back up to the front, got off that restart, and has been nothing but sensational throughout this race. And there they go, side by side, 1 and 2.
With Katie dropping all those positions and just working her way back up, and she nearly took victory.
Sorry to interrupt you right there, but Andrew with the big crossover and caution is out. And once again, PMX Twisted, not sure what happened to him. I don't know if you saw Blackout, but Twisted, it looks like he just got spun around, and a couple other drivers, SSR McNeese and KOTS Chevy Boys, they were also in the mix of that wreck. Unfortunate, but I'm pretty sure if you're PXM PXM Andrew right now, this is not what you wanted to see.
I'm just getting ready for the green flag again.
And I tell you what, this has been a really exciting B Lobby race so far. 42 laps down, we had a few cautions. I mean, after watching 40-something laps of racing, Blackout, who stuck out to you the most?
Personally, Hatch Club has been catching my eye, and I want to keep my eye on this guy. I think he's got the potential to actually pull maybe the top 3 result that he's been looking for. Hopefully even 1st place. But I think Twisted does deserve a little shout out for his defense battle against Andrew. And a few others as well. Pit road
looks like a few drivers will enter the pits. Yep, Nyko and Woody both enter pit road. And so they're getting doubled up. The guy I've been watching, and I hate to say this so many times, but PXM Andrew has been nothing but sensational to watch. The guy has been doing everything he could to stay up in the top 5, and the way he fought to get back up to that top 5 before that last caution, not this caution, but the caution previously, and then just to take the lead. You know, he had to restart 3rd, and he went right up the middle and came off the corner beautifully to take over 1st. I mean, this guy has been nothing but sensational here tonight, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he and the other guys fare up. Now, Twisted was catching my attention earlier, but he has been very inconsistent since about lap 10, which he's been shuffling himself all the way to the back of the field. Now we all are paying attention. Logistics seems to be the fastest car on the track right now, and rightfully so. But with the way this race is going, anything can happen, Blackout.
Yeah, anything can happen. I mean, we've had 2 cautions. We have had a few crashes. But, you know, it's like, you know, I'll be jinxing myself if I say Twisted might actually do an Andrew and win the race, like beat Andrew to the line. And I'm thinking that can actually be a jinxing, though.
Green flag.
Oh.
All right, I'm riding with Chevy Boy right now. He's currently battling for 4th, 5th, and 6th. He goes underneath the apron, way too much, cuts up the track, and Chevy Boy spins out in turn number 1!
Oh, and who's that at the back as well? That's Nako. Nako was caught up in that. So now you've got...
And Nako.
That's unfortunate for Chevy Boy, though. I saw him. He was drifting, and he was gone. There was nothing he could have done to save it. Really nothing.
And I was literally riding with Chevy when that happened. You know, we talked earlier about Andrew's mistake, and remember I told you he got too far down the apron, which cut him up the track, and that's what ended up being his downfall. Chevy Boy did the same thing. He got a great run off the restart, went to go underneath. The only thing that happened was he clipped the inside of that apron, got too far underneath, which shoved him up to Twisted. When he hit Twisted, his car just came back to the left. He had no way to save that car and just spun him right around. I didn't really see what happened to Niko in that situation, but you got a really good glimpse of what happened to Chevy Boy, and that's really unfortunate because he had such a great run and he was really putting himself in contention for that top 5 where he would like to be. But nonetheless, we're going to go back to green flag here momentarily.
Well, we're halfway there, really. We will be there shortly, and hopefully Hatch does take the lead, because we was talking about in the other caution how Hatch was fighting his way up to the top 3. He's achieved that. Now, is he going to win 1st place, or do you think Andrew could slip away with the victory?
I personally think Andrew has the faster of the 2 cars. I think Hatch Club has been inconsistent throughout this race, but Logistic is the one to beat right now. He got the bad end of the race. Here we go, green flag. And look at that!
Yeah,
Chevy Boy making it 3 wide!
Oh, really?
Wow, what a restart for Chevy Boy. Not sure if he got a little bit of a better jump than everyone else, but he got himself 2 positions right there.
Hatch Club has now fallen down to 4th and soon to fall to 5th. He did just have some contact with AFR Logistic, which lost him that speed he had built up from the exit. It looked as if he was going to have Logistic. Unfortunately, just taps him and loses that speed. And Twisted just takes it inside and says, goodbye, Hatch. Wow. That was not expected.
Look at this. Here's a guy we haven't talked much about today. SM Sleepy, currently battling, holding on to the 2nd position right now from AFR Logistics. Sleepy, not a guy we've talked about a whole lot here today, but here's a guy that you might want to keep an eye on. He's got himself in position for contention, and I mean, this guy, you know, we've watched him all season. I know Blackout, you've only seen a few weeks of it, but he's been getting progressively better as the season's gone, and I'm really excited to see what he does here in the closing stage of the race. We're not at the halfway point yet, but we're very close to it, and right now, Sleepy's starting to gain a little bit of a gap between him and Logistic, but I'm sure, oh, Logistic gets a nice run, he cuts down to the inside! Can he get there? He does! He gets underneath him, and now he's going to take over the position, but can Sleepy do a crossover?
That was a good
There goes
swoop
Sleepy!
and a half.
Wow. So Logistic gets back on the table, and meanwhile, PXM Andrew gets quite a bit of a gap on the guys. And I tell you what, he's had some pretty good restarts tonight, Blackout.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally had the lucky side to everything about his race. The cautions were in favour.
Oh!
Well, mostly.
Woo! Look at this! Twisted! Nico!
Oh! Twisted.
And I was just about to say, Nico and
Nico.
Twisted were battling it out for position, and it looks like they just couldn't get off of one another.
That is
And
the
Nico,
system as well, and
once
it just really doesn't help at all.
And once again, Nico gets found in a position he just couldn't avoid, and that'll bring the field back together. Now, we've gone through 50 laps. This has been nothing but sensational racing, so if you just tuned in, this hasn't been a wreck fest like it was in week number 3. These guys have been racing very, very fun, very, very phenomenally. But Twisted, it looks like, I'm pretty sure that's Twisted's 4th wreck that he's been involved with tonight. Twisted just not getting where he wants to be, and it looked like on the replay there's nothing that Twisted could do.
Unfortunately, well, no, actually, you're not. Unfortunately, not. I was thinking maybe there could have been a what-if scenario to it, but I just realised we're talking about Twisted, right? And he's just had the unlucky, charm to him tonight. He was riding really well, and he's had a really good battle with some of the drivers here. However, he's just been caught up with unfortunate events.
And here we go. They're back to green. Can Andrew hold on to the first position?
Hatch
got a
actually just
decent run.
Hatch actually got the better launch and overtook Sleepy, but however, Sleepy's holding.
Oh, Chevy boy!
God.
And that's gonna probably bring out the. And that's probably going to bring out the single file restart. I believe that's their 2nd one or 3rd one in a row. And Nico, once again,
and it's not even
caught
a lap
up where he doesn't belong.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like they got shuffled there pretty good. I don't know exactly what all happened there. All I see is a big shuffle-up mess.
But by the looks of it, it seems like someone's not happy with another one's driving. They're basically just telling each other off. And they're just having a little nip at one another, and all of a sudden it just causes this huge reaction. Well, it's nasty.
Well, here's the thing. In oval racing, compared to your basic road racing track, there's not much of a gap to really give one another. You're going almost the same speeds. You're inches away from one another. The slightest mistake really will turn into the biggest catastrophic disaster on the track, depending on how many people are there. So if these guys make the slightest mistake, the slightest adjustment that really pulls them the wrong way, it's going to make a huge wreck. And I think that's what we're just seeing right now. We're just seeing a lot of guys making minor mistakes that end up being a bigger caution than what it really is. Compared to road racing, you can kind of go off of the track a little bit when you make a mistake, and you can kind of regain that. And normally that's because you're not really side by side the majority of the race. So there's a big difference when you're right next to somebody and you make a slight mistake compared to that, you're behind me when I do it. People can kind of react a little quicker. So I think that's what we're seeing here tonight. And it looks like they're about to go back to green flag here. Unless they open up, I guess they opened up pit road.
Oh, okay,
so
this is where the carnage begins.
And I believe, if I'm correct, there was 3 cars that went in: Woody, Hatch Club, and Twisted. MEA's though now up to the 4th position now. Nice to see him up a little ways.
Indeed it is. Sorry if I'm making a bit of a noise. I'm trying to get this bloody pistachio flavoured nougat out of this packet. Can't exactly quite figure out how to do it. without having to run downstairs and get a pair of scissors. I wouldn't be able to get it open.
Here comes the 3 drivers that went into the pit. I'm going to ride along with Hatch Club to the start of this restart. We're going to actually go on the car camera with him to see how it looks on his end of it. And
Don't
here we
tell
go.
me. Oh my god, it actually is one
They're coming off of 4. And green flag.
We are.
Here they go. And Hatch Club with a huge run pushing. It looks like Chevy Boy has to check up the track a little bit as they enter 1.
Indeed.
And just like that. And just like that, Hatch Club already gained 3 positions. Now he's looking for another one. Side by side with Chevy Boy as they come off the exit. Chevy Boy with the quicker run. He's a little bit faster off of exit. Now looking at Sleepy. Twisted right there behind them. And they're about to go 3 wide. Oh, and Twisted checks up and hits the wall. So does MEA's. And look at the crossover by AFR Logistic. But, Andrew throwing a late block as they enter 1. Hatch Club to the outside of Chevy Boy for third. Those two go up the track. And look at that, but Hatch Club's gonna hold on, and he barely hangs on right there. What a restart, Blackout.
Yeah, no, I actually missed most of that because my controller disconnected, and it just disabled my mic, so I was trying to fix that because I was hearing the cars over what you were saying. So I actually missed that, unfortunately. Catch me up,
What
please.
a restart for Hatch Club. Well, basically, it was a big mess almost, it seemed. The guys were beating and banging. PXM Twisted and I believe McMee's both checked up the track in 3 and 4. Hatch Club literally gained 5 positions off of the first lap of the restart. And Andrew and Logistic have been doing nothing but beating and banging since that restart. And it has been fun to watch if you were on that car cam review with me. And right now, side by side, Andrew not getting a very good run off of 3 and 4. And Logistic to the outside of him. Logistic goes way up the track. Can he hold the outside pass?
It's a
And
caution.
no, caution comes out. What has happened this time? And it looks like McMee's, Nyko, and Twisted all in a mix-up there.
Yeah, no, I think something must have happened back there. I'm not too sure. I was actually watching Hatch Club again because he was actually keeping my attention. He's just really impressed me tonight, I've got to admit. Fantastic.
This has probably been the most aggressive driving I've seen in B Lobby in quite some time. These guys are really giving it to one another, and it's been fun to watch, nonetheless.
They do it in a much more respectable fashion where it's by accident and not by trying to kill one another. That's what I get usually from when I'm racing on Forza anyway, when I'm doing my events. People have just basically got a vendetta against one another. This is actually pretty fair enough. I'm actually enjoying this battle. But I'm enjoying the whole race.
They're doubling back up again. So it's about 60 laps down almost. Hey, if you're just tuning in, this is week number 7 of the MEA NASCAR Cup Series. I'm SSR Mayhem, and alongside me, my partner, AMR Blackout, bringing tonight's race here in the B Lobby. PXM Andrew pretty much has been the highlight of the race so far, but right now is looking on the outside in for the first time in quite a while after taking the lead earlier in the race. ACR Neko basically struggling, getting involved in a lot of accidents, but here we go, back underway, green flag on the restart. AFR Logistic not getting the best restart. Look at that, Andrew, oh, dog, he's hanging on, and what, he gets a little sideways, but he saves it, and look at this, Andrew on the outside right now of Logistic, he'll take over the lead.
Oh, that's hot. Ow. Damn it. Oh, my finger, I've just burnt it. Oh, sorry about that.
And Hatch Club going to the inside of Logistic now. They're side by side off of 4. Here they go into 1. Still side by side. Hatch Club trying to maintain the inside line. Andrew starting to run away from the pack. Sleepy as well, sticking his nose into the mix. And look at that. Logistic getting a nice run off of 2. Can he get up to the back bumper of Club? He does. What is he going to do here? He goes to the outside. He's going to cut in. He can't cut in. He doesn't get the momentum he wants. Chevy Boy up in the top 5 right now as well. Kind of interesting to see him up there. And we got a big shuffle going on the back of the pack. And I'm going to go back there and check it out, as it looks like Woody and Nyko currently battling. But if anything, it's a big battle for about, 5th place, as Twisted now takes over a position from Chevy Boy. And, oh, they're getting a little bit bumpy and squirrely. Oh, look at that pass by Woody, barely fitting his nose right between Nyko and Chevy.
That's
was
not the end of it
incredible. I don't know
either.
if you saw that.
Yeah, no, he's on the inside. He's still going for it. He secured his 5th place, wasn't it, or 6th? He secured 6th, and he's now trying to keep up with Twisted. That's it. Sorry. Yeah, he's trying to keep up with Twisted.
Nyko messing up. Nyko drops back to the 9th position now.
No, you carry on.
Nyko clipping Nypko just barely clipped onto the Chevy boy, and it chucked him right up the racetrack. So Nypko now has to regain quite a bit of ground. He's way off the pace. And here we go, side by side, the battle for 5th place. PXM Twisted, SSR Woody. Twisted goes up high, down low Woody, side by side in turn number 2. Twisted goes way up the track!
Is he out?
Twisted loses all kinds of momentum off of that minor, it seemed like such a minor mistake, but it really was a bigger mistake than what it needed to be. I don't know what Twisted did there. It looks like he just went right up the racetrack. He gathered the car quickly enough to not lose too much ground, but Chevy boy kind of creeped up on him a little bit there. Not sure exactly what's going on with Twisted. He's had such a rough race up to this point. Woody on the mid side of the track now.
He's actually doing fantastic, you know. Even though he's had quite a few unfortunate incidents, the amount of cautions that actually came out made up those positions that he lost. And I think that's really good luck.
Andrew makes a mistake. Andrew makes a mistake. It's a 3-way battle for the lead. Now, Logistic doesn't come off the 4 very well, so he kind of gaps himself a little bit between the 2 leaders. Sleepy still hanging in there strong in the 4th position now. Can he find some momentum to catch up to this group? And Hatch Club starting to knock on to the door of PXM Andrew. And once again, if you're wondering why we're calling him PXM Andrew, it says AOR, but he's actually a driver for PXM, just hasn't been able to change it yet. So if you're wondering, that's why. And Hatch Club nipping the outside of the wall, but doesn't lose a lot of momentum. Now he's side by side with Andrew. And Andrew, look at the block, but look at the inside pass by Hatch Club. Can he hold on to it? Hatch taps to the side of Andrew. Here they come off of 2. Andrew barely hanging on for dear life. He gets the better exit and will close the door on Hatch Club.
That was quite the defense from Andrew, actually. I was very fond of the way.
No, you go ahead.
Alright. Sorry, Andrew's playing a really great defensive line against Hatch Club. And that's all he really needs is. That's all he really needs to keep up with him.
Well, right now, you got two different driver styles. You got one driver that's pretty good defensively. You got another driver that's really aggressive, which is Hatch Club. Hatch Club was way too far down the apron there. Has to lay off a little bit on the gas. And then you got the fastest driver on the track trying to battle these two. And Logistic is just sitting there like, what else can I do? I know I'm faster. I know I've been out front most of this early on in the race. But he's just struggling to get around 2 of these really aggressive drivers who have been doing nothing but offense and defensive tactics. But look at this. Logistic gets a nice run to the outside off of 2. He'll take over that 2nd position from Hatch Club.
And that was an outside, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. He really made a nice run coming off of turn 2.
That was a really good outside overtake. Built great momentum. Oh, you're right, man.
And right now, Sleepy's just sitting there in 4th place. He says, man, can I please get up to this battle?
Well, there'll always be a chance. We're about to see another caution, hopefully, so that he could catch up the pack and restart and reignite this fight that's been going on throughout the whole race. I would love to see this fight just consistent. It's got crashing, it's got racing, it's got people side by side. I hope another caution comes out. I really want to see more of this. It's brilliant.
And right now, the battle for the lead, it's kind of fun to watch up front right now. And I know we've been sitting on the front pack for a while now, but only because of just how crazy this has been. It seems like every time Andrew gets away, he either makes a slight mistake or makes a major mistake, which gathers these two up right behind him. And Andrew makes another mistake. He hits the wall. So does Hatch Club. Look at this.
Hatch got down on the inside, takes it from Andrew, and now he's on a fight with Logistic. What happened with Andrew? He just tapped the wall, but Andrew tried going out on the outside.
He went way too high on 3 back there, and that threw him right up into the 4. But look at this. Andrew's not done. He's looking to try to pull a move on Hatch Club. And Logistic, this guy, I feel good for Logistic Blackout. Last time he was in the lead, he really gapped the field. And I wonder if he could do that again. He doesn't have anybody in front of him, no one to really worry about.
But this time with Andrew in the pack, the thing is, Andrew's in the top 3, and that's keeping Hatch Club pushing on his pace. But that's now probably going to. It's not going to be as big of a battle as when Logistic was escaping and Andrew's, fighting for the pack. But now he's in the top 3. I reckon it won't really take too long for Andrew to find his foot again and overtake Logistic.
Alright, now Hatch Club is starting to put a gap on Andrew. Logistic is somewhat gapping Hatch, but it looks like Hatch has found a little momentum on the last lap and a half. Andrew keeping himself relevant. I see a couple of drivers after Sleepy starting to appear in the picture. And those drivers would be SSR Woody and PXM Twisted. We'll go back there and check out what these two drivers are up to. And Woody, who's been in a couple of issues in this race, has found himself in the side of the top 5. Right there behind him, PXM Twisted, who's been nothing but pretty much in every single wreck that we've seen. Not taking any shots to him whatsoever, but it's just been an unfortunate day for Twisted. But he's found himself back up to the 6th position. ACR Nyko, who recently was dropped all the way back to 9th, has found himself all the way back up to 7th here. So he's gained a couple of positions. And it looks like SSR McMees really fell off pace. I believe he was running 7th, now back to 9th. So you could tell that these little micro mistakes that we've seen in this race really show that if you make a mistake, you lose quite a bit of time.
Definitely. You said it to me at near the start of a race where little mistakes can always make you lose that time that you've built, and that's just something that people. Oh, hang on! I thought I just saw an accident back at. I'm on board with Woody right now, and I look behind. I thought it was an accident, but that was just me seeing things. Yeah. The point at the start of a race was little mistakes you don't want. And this has just been showing in so many of these battles. You've got Twisted making a few mistakes, you've got Woody making those mistakes, you've got everyone just making those mistakes. Even Andrew's caught up in his own mistake. It's all just, part of how racing is, and it's all about trying to keep yourself from crashing, really.
And right now, Andrew's just starting to fade off of these two drivers, and we've talked about how hard he's been driving all race long up to this point, and he's starting to struggle here late in the race. But it's still a lot of laps left. Right now, if you're Andrew, you want Hatch Club beating on the door of Logistic right now because you want those two guys to battle it out. The more they battle, the more you gain, as long as you don't make any mistakes, and I'm sure that's what he's thinking right now, Blackout.
Definitely. And, there's no point in dwelling if he was. Because he's still got that great opportunity. There might even be an accident that will cause the race to slow down. That's just how it goes.
And he's been nothing but sensational on restart, so if he can get another restart, he might have a legitimate shot.
He actually might. But yet again, if you look at Logistic and how he managed to pull on the pack, not exactly right now as they're catching back up to him, but someone has in fact gone into the pits. Who's that? Sorry, that's just caught my attention. Someone's going to the pits.
Like ACR Nyko. I would have to double check. No, that's SSR McMees, actually. I missed. Yep, SSR McMees. He is now exiting pit road and coming back onto the track. Wonder if that's his last pit stop of the race or not. With the funky way Forza has the pit walls all messed up off of the pits. McMees is trying to come off the apron, and there he goes.
All right.
And Logistic, we'll go back up to the battle for first right now. And Logistic really got a gap on Hatch. Did you see what happened with Hatch? Because he's lost a lot of time, and he's also got Andrew starting to creep up on him again.
No, I was on board with Woody there, so I didn't actually see what happened there. What I'm seeing now, though, is Hatch Club having a fair distance from Logistic and keeping it away with Andrew. So, there is a middle ground. And it seems like Andrew's actually catching up to the middle ground very progressively. But it can also mean that, no, Andrew's actually going to the pits. Okay, that's just absolutely changed everything. I wasn't expecting that. Okay.
So Andrew, you gotta wonder,
yeah.
Can Andrew make it on fuel or make it on tires and fuel the rest of the race? He's currently in the pits. He's probably led about, I'd say he's led about 30 laps of this race, at least. He's been up front for quite a bit of time, just like Logistic. Those two guys have been leaders of the race the majority of the time.
And
here goes Andrew coming out of the pits.
So I think that means CP is in the league now. Yeah, CP is technically in the league.
And here's your new race leader, the number 42 machine for the first time today, SM Sleepy, currently your race leader, but I tell you what, he's been getting hunt down by SSR Woody and PXM Twisted, and Twisted looks like he's regathered himself a little bit, Blackout. We talked earlier about, earlier in the race, the beginning about 10-15 laps of the race, it seemed like Twisted was really doing a decent enough job to keep himself up. Oh, okay, I thought someone spun out there off the floor. Sleepy almost
CP
did it.
Went straight on into the barrier, just nearly destroyed himself.
And Sleepy just barely getting to the pits right now. And I tell you what, Blackout, the way this has been going, Twisted looks like he's been gaining ground on SSR Woody. And, this is Woody's first race of the season, but if you pull up their damage telemetry right now, both Woody and Twisted have about 35% fuel left before they need to make another pit stop. So I wonder if they're going to try to play it out a little bit before they make their next pit stop to see if they can gain some more ground. Because the way these cars are designed,
want that first place fight. I think they want that first place fight to last for a little while before they dive into the pits. I think they want some kick out of this, I reckon.
Well, the way these cars are designed, it seems like the longer the run, the better the car is. These cars, with the tires that they have on them, the more wear you get on the tire, the better your laps become. And Twisted tapping the wall a little bit, you got to think Twisted's running a pretty good race right now. He's got to be consistent. He's got to stay strong for the rest of this race if he wants to see a top 5 finish, because these guys right here, SSR Woody and Twisted, have been tracking down that man right between them, SM Sleepy, for the 4th and 5th positions. Right now, Sleepy is currently the 5th place car on the track, so I believe that leaves about 4 cars on the lead lap. Still, your quickest time on the track.
Twisted just did a handbrake turn into the pits. Do you get style points for this race?
Style points? No, I don't. I believe not.
Twisted just handbrake turns into the pit lane.
And it looks like a caution is out. Not sure what the caution is for.
Talk about luck for Twisted. He just went into the pits when the caution has come out. That means he can start making up positions. Wow.
It was very close, though. I gotta say, I'm not sure exactly what the caution was for. And it looks like they're going to let Woody pit too, so there could be some controversy going on. Once again, ACR Nyko, the race marshal, letting certain things happen. Not sure exactly what's going on, but nonetheless, it looks like the field's starting to slow it down a little bit here.
Wait, Twisted just drove into the wall slightly. What is happening there?
Yeah,
he keeps having
got a wheel.
the slight oh, he's actually got a wheel.
And 6th or 9th is just sitting there. I don't know what they're doing.
I guess he really must like his wheel then. That's actually pretty nice though. There is a wheel league he could take part in. There's something being organised together. It's called Wheel League or something like that. And yeah, he could take part in that in the future. If I can get more information on the team Discord for mine, I'll actually send him the link on my Discord. See if we could get involved with that later on in the future. That's actually good knowledge, right?
Not sure what. Okay, now they're going.
Did you having a look? What's happening?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what the back 3 were doing.
I think they're pitting on caution.
No, they're catching up to the field now.
Damn, Twisted actually got a really lucky break. He pitted, there was a caution, and now he's in the lead. Okay. Starting to see the pack begin to bunch up now as they start to approach the start-finish straight. You got Twisted in first, Woody in second, Hatched in third, Andrew in fourth, CP in fifth, Chevy in sixth, AFR Logistic in seventh, Mess in eighth, and Nako in ninth. Now, can Twisters hold his position? Can he keep ahead of the pack and win this race? This is what I've been waiting for. Will Twister make out
Here we go.
Now, as we are away for green flag. Oh, and Hatch Club straight away out. Holy moly. Oh.
And, wow. Those guys, I mean, if you watch the restart, they were 5 wide. That was leading for trouble. And I don't care who you are. That was initially leading for. I didn't want to call it, but yeah, that was unfortunate.
You know how earlier on I was talking about how you said anything can happen? And I was like, well, I'll probably jinx the fact that Twister's going to win the race. I'm actually starting to think he's going to win the race. I think I called it. Hopefully, if he can carry on defending like he has throughout the whole race and keep those people behind, he might actually have a chance. And that is actually putting a smile on my face as I'm watching. Oh, and never mind. Twister's been spun. There goes Hatch Club, Andrew. They're all out.
What on earth is going on with these guys?
Literally, Twisted was just spun out. Like,
They've been doing fine up to this point of the race. I don't know what's been going on.
are you confused as much as I am?
It just seems like we're getting a lot of antsy people in the back of the pack, and they're really showing a lot of poor driving right now, to be a fair statement, I'd say. But the new leader, SSR McNeese.
To be fair, I think I gave Twisted commentator's curse. I'm just not going to watch him because it's going to bring him more bad luck. I'm going to pass it on to Hatch Club. Now I'm on board with Hatch Club.
Well, there's a couple. These guys are all giving themselves quite a bit of issues.
Oh yeah, but commentator's curse, come on. You can't not believe in it. I actually dig that livery, the flex tape livery. I really dig it. And McMess's vehicle is actually not that bad looking as well. I think it's quite neat. I think that's probably one of the better designs actually. But I really am fond of the flex tape. I'm sorry, but flex tape is just a great meme. Flex on.
Alright, so SSR McNeese and Chevy Boy, not used to probably the starting spot. They're gonna need to get going though. When they say, you know, that might be the problem. They just might not be jumping the line as well as they need to. So here we go.
Oh, and we are away. Green flag. Hatch Club with a good start, but Chevy Boy unfortunately keeping in front from, what is it? Hatch Club was behind Chevy and just bumped him a little, so lost momentum, so leads to that unfortunate moment. But then he's going to swap on the inside. Oh, is it 4 wide? There's a 2 wides at the front here for Chevy Boy and Hatch.
They're
Hatch
getting
dives on the
antsy
inside,
here.
takes first place, and then Logistic dives on the inside of Chevy, and now they're on neck, ready for a drag race. And he seems to be catching up with Hatch Club as well. That was a good run by Logistic. Where did he come from?
Mid-pack.
Damn. That was a good run from him. Really good start. We're starting to approach the final 25 laps. And it's been quite a good run actually. I've enjoyed watching this battle. Oh, sorry, enjoying watching this race and battles. There's
and Andrew making an inside pass to Woody and Sleepy now.
There's definitely a lot we can talk about after the race. Now, unfortunately, Chevy Boy has just gone a bit wide. Logistic diving on the inside. Way too wide. Even made contact with the wall, I think. And now he's got overtaken by Andrew and Sleepy. Or Sleepy, sorry. They're keeping up with Logistic as well. And Hatch Club is just running away with that victory so far. But I reckon there's something that's about to happen. I think the commentator's curse is going to come back in like anytime soon. Don't want to jinx nothing, but Oh god.
Right now,
Patch just,
Woody currently sitting in the 4th position. And we're going to move up with Andrew now, as right in front of them, Logistic and Hash Club start to battle it out for position for the lead. And Woody's starting to work on the backside of Andrew.
Yeah, and Logistic is now trying to get on the inside of Hatch Club. Moves to the outside. I think that's called the cross technique you was talking about. I don't understand what it's about, but I guess it works. I've never really understood the concept of it. I mean, I've done it a few times in racing. I just can't remember what it's called.
And there's the battle. First and second battling it out. Logistic on the inside. Hash Club holding it onto the outside. Hash Club will maintain position right behind them. PXM Andrew and SSR Woody start to close in the top 2 cars of the race. And this could... And Sleepy as well. Sleepy is right there still, looking to take a jab at these guys if possible, but it looks like it's possibly going to be a 4-car battle as Hatch Club, and oh, Logistic goes way down low. Looks like they tapped a little bit. Andrew's getting a nice little run on both of them.
Oh, Logistic's just going inside deep of Hatch Club, and now they are neck on neck again, and then Hatch Club makes
and there's an accident.
Oh, is there? What's happened?
Oh, Chevy Boy or McNeese. I'm not positive who it was. It looks like, oh, it was Twisted. Twisted held on to it then, barely held on to it.
That's a good job from Twisted, I'll tell you that. If he manages to hold something on, that's a really good start. Plus he's on the wheel. Some of these guys are on the controller, so it might be easier to recover. And where did Andrew come from? Dives deep on the inside, takes AFR's first place, and is now holding AFR Logistic. Hatch Club now coming and creeping on the outside, overtaking Logistic, but I don't think will stick. No, it doesn't. It was a good move, I'll give it that, but it just wasn't enough. And now...
And look at the block. He throws a late block to stay in front of Logistic, but Hatch Club still throwing some punches as well. He's to the outside of Logistic. Look at this, SSR Woody trying to stick his nose to the inside of Logistic, but can't hold on. This is a 5-car battle between the top 5 drivers for the lead with 18 laps to go.
We have 18 laps to go. What should this one be sponsored by?
Oh, there's no such thing. We don't sponsor. I ain't sponsoring nothing unless they're paying us.
Jeez.
And here we go with only 18 to go.
Oh,
Hatch
would you make contact with
Logistic goes way up the track!
Yeah, I just noticed that. He's just lost 2 positions. That was just really unfortunate. Unlucky. I think what happened, Woody came in contact with Logistic. And Hatch Club makes double inside Andrew. There's contact. But that slows him down.
Fourth.
Yeah.
Andrew trying to hold on for dear life. And in the comment section, his teammate PXM Outlaw cheering him on. And Andrew said today, before the race began, he would love to win here at Homestead. He felt really comfortable coming in. He's got 16 laps to do it. Can he hang on? He's been nothing but sensational all day. And from the start of the race with major problems, fought his way back up to the top 5, took the lead, ran about 30 laps to lose the league, and he's right back up to where he belonged earlier in the race, and he's putting on nothing but a show. This has been nothing but PXM Andrew all day long, and I think you would agree with me on that, Blackout. He's been the story of the race.
Andrew, definitely. He's been running such a great run today. From the back of the pack to then at the front, he's even lost a few positions beforehand, but those cautions have saved him and backed him up and said, basically, we got you, fam. And now Andrew is in the lead. After 103 laps, he's been holding his position. He's laying down the law. He really is laying down the law.
And Woody's got some support too, as someone's cheering him on from the sidelines. And Woody has been nothing but he's been quite a quiet guy today.
Sorry, I just wanted to give you one for commentating.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know a lot of people wish for me to come back. It's nice to come back up here and do it with somebody that I was excited to get my first jab out with. Glad to have you with us. We got about 14 laps to go here, and it just seems like this race has been really exciting. I know we had about 4 or 5 cautions, but they've been so spaced out up to this point, and this has been really fun to watch, at least from Andrew. Andrew's starting to gap these guys, but we're going to pull up the race map to show you where everyone is on the track. Nyko up to the 7th position now as he's trying to track down Chevy Boy. The battle for 4th between SM Sleepy and AFR Logistic now is going on as Logistic goes to the outside of Sleepy. We're going to leave the leaders for just a couple of minutes for this battle. Well, they're actually part of the lead, but look at this. Logistic right on the back bumper of Sleepy. He goes back to the outside. That's where he's been all day long in 3 and 4. He likes to start from the outside. I think it's a better run off of 4. Look at that, to the inside. Logistic trying to get that run, but doesn't get it just quite yet. Logistic looking on to the outside again. Logistic trying to get around Sleepy. Sleepy holding on for dear life. And Sleepy says, man, can you back off just a little bit? But there goes Logistic to the inside. He got a nice run off of turn 2 there. But can't seal the deal once again. Logistic holding on to the backside of Sleepy now. Sleepy goes a little bit wide. Logistic down low.
On the side barrier. He was sorry. He was catching up to Andrew. Touched the wall, lost that momentum, and Woody's now caught up.
And here it is, side by side, Sleepy, Logistic to the inside. He'll creep right in front for the 4th position of Sleepy. Can Sleepy get another run off of 2? Sleepy starting to make hints that he's gonna go inside, doesn't get the run, but here he goes. Sleepy to the inside. Logistic going to throw the late block right in the middle of 3 and 4. So Logistic now holds on to position. There's about 10 laps to go here, and PXM Andrew looking to take off his first win of the season. Earlier this season, back at Daytona in the B lobby, PXM driver F1 Ben won its first team victory in their career.
And PXM Andrew lost a lot of speed. He's grinding against the wall. Woody's now just taking his position. Oh, that was just an unfortunate mistake.
And very unfortunate for Hatch Club as his back-to-back wins for B Lobby here at Homestead. The second time we've been here, it looks like it's starting to dwindle, and Andrew's starting to pull from the field. And like I was saying, if PXM Andrew could pull off, it would be the second win for PXM, at least in the B Lobby side of things. And I know this means a lot for Andrew if he could just hang in there for another 9 laps or so.
He is definitely holding it in there.
For second is on as AFR Logistic now peeks to the inside of Hatch Club for the 3rd position now. SSR Woody trying to hold on a little longer.
Lost a bit of speed and let Hatch back over.
Sleepy is starting to creep up in the 5th place now. So 2nd through 5th battling for 1 position. Now it might not seem like that to you, but the way they're going at it, that could lead to pretty much anybody's race at this point for the 2nd position. Andrew has done pretty much checked out.
That interview. They're definitely doing that for the interview. That'll be brilliant to watch.
And here he taps the wall again. Hatch Club is starting to slip here late in the race. He's lost so much momentum. Woody now just seeing if he can find some speed on Andrew. 7 laps to go. Can he close him in? I don't know, Blackout. It seems like Andrew's locked in for the rest of this race here as they got 7 to go. But the battle for second is still hyped up as Logistic gets a great run off of 2. Here they go. Woody to the middle of the track. Hatch down low. Logistic to the outside but cuts back to the inside. 2, 3, 4. Logistic looks like he goes up.
Logistic's lost.
Logistic's out of it.
Oh,
Logistic is now out of it. He's going to have to gain a lot of pace. And look at this, Sleepy to the inside.
Oh, damn.
The battle for 4th is now
brilliant.
on. Sleepy throwing a late one in there. This is nothing but exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Logistic gets a better run off of 2 now. Can Sleepy throw another one down inside? He does not. He goes way too high.
Jeez. Talk about luck.
What?
Logistic.
What a battle. Logistic just hanging on.
Yeah. He just hung right on.
And if you're watching, we're at the closing stages of the B Lobby here in week number 7 at Homestead in the MEA Nascar Cup Series. Right now, your race leader, PXM Andrew, currently gapped the rest of the field and is checked out up to this point. Woody now trying to hang on for the 2nd position as Hatch Club looks to the inside. Hatch Club has been falling on and off throughout this race, cannot run consistent laps just yet, but he's kept himself up front to battle for that top 5. And right now, Woody hit his first race of the season, trying to hang on for dear life. He'd like to finish probably in the top 3 here. He knows those 2 guys behind him are not done yet. And Hatch
trying
Club
to keep an eye.
looking.
Oh no, Logistic right now as well.
Hatch Club coming in He's got the faster run. Can he get the better exit?
Yes. Just.
Oop. I bumped up too far there. He's trying to drop back the Hatch Club there. And we're going to ride on the camera view with Hatch Club here. 3 laps to go right now. PXM Andrew, all he has to do is run a clean race, and he will pick up his first win in the B lobby of the season. And he has done nothing but been sensational. But here comes the inside. What? Hatch Club goes to the inside, gives Woody a tap. Side by side, coming off of turn number 4. Can Woody get the best? Oh, Woody's not done just yet. He gets the cleaner run off of 3. Look at Logistic goes to the inside.
He takes second place. Nearly.
And Woody loses 2 positions just like that. 3 wide.
Second from that. What a run for Hatch.
And Logistic, look at Logistic. They tap.
Oh, and they're both out the battle again.
And Woody goes down to the inside. Woody, side by side with Logistic with 2 to go.
Man, oh man. That was a spicy battle.
It's not done just yet. These 3 are still clinging and banging. And look at this. Logistic goes to the inside. Can he get the better run off of 2?
Not yet.
And Woody's just patiently waiting.
Woody's just
Logistic goes up high.
Yeah, there we go.
Look at this. Woody to the inside.
Woody knows
the white
exactly
flag's in the air. PXM Andrew, 1 to go.
Wait, 1 to go? Definitely.
Well, this is the last lap, that's what I meant. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Here we go. Look at this. Woody back there. Woody touch. Hatch Club goes off the track.
And Hatch. Oh, Logistic goes the outside and inside overtake.
And coming around turns 3 and 4, with taking his first B lobby victory of the season. And it's probably a very emotional one. PXM Andrew will come across the line to win B lobby here at Homestead. And coming in second, AFR Logistic. Third, Hatch Club. Fourth, SSR Woody. And look at that! Sleepy almost snuck in there to take over fourth, but finishes fifth. ACR Nako sixth. Seventh will be Chevy Boy. And rounding out the last 2 spots, I believe are PXM Twisted and SSR McNeese. And just like that, here is your top 9 or finalists as PXM Andrew wins at Homestead in the B lobby race. Right behind him, AFR Logistics, third Hatch Club, SSR Woody barely sneaking by for the 4th position as SM Sleepy with a late charge there with 1 lap to go. ACR Nako 6th, 7th Chevy Boy, 8th Twisted, and 9th SSR McNeese. And just stay tuned, we're going to have the drivers come in for post-race interviews just a minute. And give a brief, and while we wait for the drivers to come on in, I'd like Blackout to give a brief take on how the race went. Blackout?
Oh wow, that was really interesting. Quite a crazy race in my eyes. You know, seeing how Twisted was defending and then going down positions, then getting those cautions to sneak back up, and then ending up being in the bottom is just really unlucky for him. But he ran a really good race. Logistic, that was such a good comeback. I was really impressed by Logistic's comeback. Hatch was running nice and consistently. I definitely like the way he was running. Andrew was just, jeez, mad respect for the guy.
And right now we're just pulling in the drivers. We're waiting for SSR Woody now to appear in here. So as soon as I get him in here, we should be ready to go. For you guys that are currently coming in, just make sure you click on the Party Chat inbox to make sure that your party chat is there. And we'll get underway here momentarily. Hold on 1 second. 1 second as I pull everybody else in.
Joel Spike Cranberry.
Right. So for everybody that's currently coming in here, we are waiting for Woody.
You want Spike Cranberry? You want Spike Cranberry?
Alright guys, calm down. Alright, so SSR Woody can't make the interview, but he'll finish 4th on the night. Alright, so for you guys that just joined the lobby, please turn your party audio on. That way everyone can hear you loud and clear. I'm going to start with the 5th place finisher, SM Sleepy, which you were kind of a surpriser throughout the race. You didn't have a very good start in the beginning stages of the race. You fell back for a while, but you found your way back up to the front. You led a couple of laps for making a pit stop. And at the end there, you almost nabbed the top almost top 3 there the way things were going, 2 through 5 there with 2 laps to go. It seemed to be anyone's race. You right at the end, coming off of 4, it looked like you almost got Woody. One more lap, you could have maybe threw your hat on the table and put her down, but nonetheless, you have at the top 5 here tonight.
Yeah, it just wasn't in the books. Seems to be a pattern, you know. I fall back and strategy gets me back up there, or well, not strategy, but you know, you know, the more you practice and the more you play around with the lines, the more you start to know the track. So, you know, that comes into it. You know, I've noticed that I'm pretty good once I get into a rhythm on worn tires. So, I think if I could have kept it out of the wall the last few laps, I think maybe I could have chased some of these guys down. Don't know what happened to Logistics and Hatch Club, but all of a sudden I saw one up high, one down low, and I just saw them both falling back. So, you know, that was the only reason.
You seem to have quite a bit of battles with Logistic there near the end of the race. Logistic having a couple of issues of his own near the late stages of the race, and it gave you an opportunity to try to take a couple of jabs at him, but it seemed like every time you got him, the next lap he just ripped right underneath you again, and it basically went back and forth there for quite a while, but I'm sure that you really enjoyed the racing alongside him.
Yeah, I don't know what really happened. I know the line is typically, you know, or the way that this track works is if you take the high line or the middle line and you come out, you know, you come out on the outside, you get a run going down to the back, and then, you know, obviously inside gives you an advantage distance-wise, but it doesn't really give you much. It gives you like 2 miles an hour less going down the back from somebody who come out the top side. I came out the top side, and, you know, Logistics came out the bottom, and all of a sudden he's just like blowing by me on the straightaway. So I'm not sure what happened there. All I gotta say is he's hacked the game somehow that we don't know about.
Well, nonetheless, Sleepy, congratulations on a top 5, and looking forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
And finishing 4th, who's not going to be with us here. I know there's some Woody fans out there that we've seen down in the comment section, but SSR Woody finishing his first top 5 of the season in the B lobby. Ran a really tough race. He was in the back of the pack for quite a while, fought his way up to the front, got shuffled back, fought his way back, and then with that group of 4 cars there at the end, it was really wild for him, but he ended up coming out 4th to finish out tonight. So SSR Woody finishing 4th. We're going to move up to the 3rd place finisher, and I'm sure it was kind of disappointing as he was the first. He won back in week number 3 of the B lobby. Try to take that again, but Hatch Club, it seemed like tonight was an inconsistent night for you. It seemed like every time you gained a little, you lose a little. It seemed like you tap a wall, bump another driver, get too far down underneath the apron, and it just seemed to like mess up your race a little bit. But you in that pack there with 2-3 laps to go, it was quite a trip for you. And to see Logistic come right between you and Woody, what were your thoughts in that moment?
I was thinking, holy shit. I mean, I don't know. I just trying way too hard, man. I thought I had something for Andrew, but he's just putting down the same laps as me, but just way more consistent. Like, it's just something I don't quite have yet, the consistency to put together fast laps over and over and over again.
And you know, Hatch, it seemed like for a while there, it seemed for a while there you would find your rhythm, like we said, and then, like you just said, the inconsistency showed up. There was a time in the race where you had to come all the way from the back, and you actually got a great restart. You jumped about 5 cars in the first lap of the race, but once you got up to the top 2 guys, you know, you got yourself up the front a couple of times, but it just never could hold. Well,
I mean, no offense to any other drivers, but I mean, it was me, Andrew, and Logistic that kind of had it in the bag most of the race. It was the 3 of us up front the whole time. But every single time I get up to one of them, passing was just the hardest thing ever.
And it definitely showed, but congratulations, Hatch Club, on another good finish. I'm sure you're a lot happy to be able to finish than last week. You got a little bit of a DNF, well, DNC most of this week. You got disconnection, but nonetheless, the top 3 should be happy with that.
Yep.
So congratulations on your top 3. And
Thank
moving
you.
up the ladder, finishing runner-up and dominant early on in the race, AFR Logistic. I gotta ask you, man. You had the lead. It seemed like you had about a 1,000-foot gap on everybody for a while there. The caution came out. Andrew, you know, bowed his way ever since the beginning incident of his race to get back up front to challenge you. The restart, I would say it was after the first or second caution. He really put on some moves. He put on that inside gap between, I believe it was you and I think Nyko, and he went right in through the middle. You guys were going 3 wide, pulled out front. It seemed like ever since that restart, you just never could find your pace again consistently enough because you were in so many battles up to that point.
Yeah, there was a lot of battling going on. That was a great race. You know, first thing I want to mention is thank you to ACR Nako, because he called a caution when he didn't have to necessarily. With the pit stops, I tried pitting 3 times, and for some reason the game was glitching, so I just want to say thanks to him for at least letting me race that one. So.
And thank you, ACR Nyko, for that. It was his first time tonight marshalling and running the race, so hopefully it all went well and smooth for him. It was definitely a big help to us, especially get me up in the commentary booth to get this race broadcast tonight. But go ahead, go on, Logistic.
Yeah, so Andrew had the same pace as I did throughout the race. I felt like we were running similar lap times and stuff, so it was pretty much whoever was out front was going to win it. Obviously, I got shuffled back, but that was crazy at the end, battling with Hatch and who else was up there? Woody, was it? I think.
Woody's, Sleepy.
Yep. Yeah, they dove it in, turned forward last lap, and just hit each other and opened up. And I was able to take advantage of that. So.
And I have to ask you, you know, and I asked Hatch, but when he went underneath Woody there, and they got a little bit split right up to that gap, and there's that opening. It seemed like you were all in on it. There was no going back, no looking left or right, across the street. You were just straight on beelining it through that gap. What was your thought process through that moment?
Well, it was the race. I mean, you got to go for it. So I went for it, and it worked out for me. If one of them jumped up and hit me, it is what it is. Everybody stayed clean and held their line.
The top 5 guys. It seemed like, well, not so much Andrew, because that part of the race, Andrew was pretty much gone. He separated himself from that pack, and, you know, we watched you go from 2nd to 5th to 3rd to 5th to 2nd. I mean,
yeah,
that's got to be that's got to be frustrating for a driver. You get up to where you need to be, then you get shuffled back, then you fight your way back up, sent back, and it just seems like in that moment it's either fun or it's just really frustrating. And which part do you take from that?
Honestly, I had a blast in B lobby tonight. That was probably my best race so far. I was happy with it. Most enjoyable, I should say.
Anyone you like to thank?
No, I think we're good. Just once again, Nick, thank you very much for doing that, and I appreciate it. It wasn't something he had to do, so he did a great job for hosting his first one.
And congratulations to AFR Logistic on your 2nd place finish in B lobby here tonight. Looking forward to seeing you next week, so congratulations. And the winner of tonight's B lobby race, and I'm not sure if he's going to be screaming or yelling or what in a second here. PXM Andrew getting his first victory in the B lobby this season. And Andrew, I have to ask, that beginning of the race, you know, it seemed like that was a really frustrating moment for you. Just right away get spun out, sent to the back of the field. You fought your way back up. You've been pretty much the highlight of the night for all of us. Blackout and I were watching. You battled, you fought, you took the lead. When you made mistakes, you didn't get shaken, and you got yourself in position to win the race and win it convincingly at the end of the race. How do you feel?
Absolutely ecstatic is probably the best way of describing it. I've probably already woken up the neighbourhood, because obviously I'm in the UK, it's already midnight.
Oh, yeah.
So I've probably already woken up. Asked people in the lobby.
Yeah, he woke his whole neighborhood up, and probably the truck stopped down the interstate a little bit.
Well, Andrew, I gotta ask you, you performed exquisitely tonight. You took every bad situation you had and you made it a strength. You fought from the beginning of the race to get yourself back up through the field. You were amazing on restarts. I gotta give you that. Every restart you just seemed to hit it right. You made the lead pass off the one restart right up the middle. You held off Logistics several times. You battled him on a restart where he was underneath you, and you kept yourself. You know, even though near over the halfway point, you were drifting off from Hatch Club and Logistic there. You fought your way back, and you gave yourself a chance to win it. And it's gotta feel good to win, not just to win, but to win convincingly, because it's such a big gap at the end of the race.
Yeah, I think the key after the first lap incident or whenever it was that I got spun out at the beginning was just don't give up, because like it's a long race, anything can happen. And then when I started losing time to the two in front of me, I just like, well, because it's the anniversary of my hero Michael Schumacher's skiing accident, I thought I'd take a leaf out of his book and try and do one of those typical box, come out, last a couple of really quick laps and come out ahead of the cars, like, you know, that were ahead of me, and it almost worked. I got right up onto the rear of, I think it was Hat's Club, and then unfortunately logistics got screwed over in the pits. Otherwise, I reckon it could have been even tighter between me and him.
And you know, you've been talking all season. You've been really consistent all season too. That's something we haven't even mentioned. You've been a top 3 car every race, and you told me going into tonight, and you've been talking about it quite a bit, was you felt like you had a real legitimate shot to win tonight's race here in the B lobby, and you said that it just felt like it was the right moment for you. Did you ever think at any point in tonight's race that you weren't going to win it?
There was a little moment when two ahead were starting to pull away, and like I thought, oh no, this might be it. I might have to settle for third here. But then, obviously, just remembering Michael Schumacher, just like well, it worked out a treat in the end. So it brought me straight back into it.
Anyone you'd like to thank?
But I'd like to thank, obviously, everyone at Phoenix Motorsport and our sponsors for obviously allowing me to race for the team. I'd also like to dedicate this win to Michael Schumacher, who is obviously, well, we still don't know how he's doing after his
Actually, I've got
so,
that.
okay.
He's out first.
Oh, well, that's fantastic news.
Yeah,
but still, I'd like
he's
to
out
dedicate it to him, because, like, you know, he's the driver I always looked up to when I grew up watching Formula 1 and all that, when I was, what, about 5 years old, so...
Well, congratulations, Andrew, on your win here tonight. I'm sure this is really ecstatic for you, and we're looking forward to seeing you next week and throughout the remainder of the season. So congratulations on your win. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, PXM Andrew with his first win of the season here in week number 7, the B Lobby at Homestead. I'm going to let my partner, AMR Blackout, ask a few questions if you'd like to black out. Otherwise, we'll get ready to close this one out.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so for Airfire Logistic,
Yes, sir.
you was all over the racetracks today. You was like back and forth, like from last to first, and then back to last, and then fighting your way up again. During all of that rush, what was your initial thoughts? How was you coping with that? Because it was quite a lot. You was losing a lot, and you was gaining a lot. It's like all these different like things going on at once.
Well, the biggest problem it seemed like I was having tonight was restarts. I was doing absolutely horrible. If I was restarting first, I wasn't first going into turn 1. Just that the restarts killed me. So, but going back and forth, you know, I knew I had this lead, so it was just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. And unfortunately, Andrew was where I was planning to be. But such is life.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Who else? What was I asking? Who else can I ask? Seems like the other guy that I want to speak to you isn't in the party. Okay. I was going to ask Hatch a couple of questions, but he's not in the party. So...
Did Hatch Club leave?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
So
That's
Andrew,
alright. Well, if that's all...
just one question remaining, actually. That's for Andrew. Do you think you'll be able to further this success in the next race, or even the next few races?
I would really hope so, but like it's such a tight competitive field that it's probably too early to say who's going to come out on top next time out.
Definitely, mate. But you've shown a good battle, mate. I've been impressed by your driving.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Well, if that's all you have to ask, once again, week number 7 of the MEA NASCAR Cup Series here in the B Lobby at Homestead. PXM Andrew winning for his first time of the season. getting the first place. Right behind him, AFR Logistic, who had to drop down from A to B lobby tonight. Ran a consistent but a struggling race near the end of the race, but nonetheless fun to watch as he takes home the runner-up position in second. Hatch Club finishing third. Fourth, BSSR Woody with its first race of the season. Fifth place, SM Sleepy, looking to continue his momentum going into the next week and the remainder of the season. ACR Nightgo, thank you once again for being the host of the drivers and being able to run his first organizers race here at MEA. Seventh be KOTS Chevy Boy 36. PXM Twisted, who seemed to show signs of life here tonight, just could not keep a consistent car, which ended up finishing 8th. And SSR McMees rounding out the top 9. I'm SSR Mayhem alongside me, AMR Blackout. We thank you all for watching the B Lobby here tonight. In just about an hour and a half, the A Lobby will be back in action. SSR Katie, SSR Bobberts, SSR Sloth, the winners of those lobbies this season. Can anyone else pull off a victory this season? Find out as SSR Oval Racer starts on the poll tonight. And that will be hosted and broadcasted by HCR Daytona, AMR Rufus, and AMR Blackout. I'm SSR Mayhem, and I wish you all a good night.
Good night, guys.